flag salute.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sassy? I need the bill list. Let me see the bill list.
Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Board of Commissioners, public meeting Tuesday, January 14, 2020. The time is now 8:14. Pursuant to the requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, notice of this meeting was published in the November 28, 2019 issues of the Nutley Sun, the Herald News, and the Star Ledger. A copy of this notice has been posted on the Nutley Town Hall Bulletin Board, and a copy is on file in the Municipal Clerk's Office. Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Tucci.
Here.
Commissioner Evans.
Here.
Commissioner Petracco.
Here.
Mayor Scarpelli.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
We apologize for being late tonight. We had to get some legal advice on one of the agenda items, and that's what took up most of our time tonight. So let's move to minutes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. We have Board of Commissioner meeting minutes for approval for December 3rd, 2019.
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers.
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco. Mayor Scarpelli.
Aye.
And that's it for minutes.
Reports, we have a report from Millennium Strategy, a year-end report that was submitted to the Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Tucci.
Yes, I have a shade tree report for the month of December 2019.
Commissioner Petracco.
I have my public safety report. Thank you.
Bills, Madam Clerk.
Excuse me, Mayor, I have the Millennium Strategies report.
I already said that, Commissioner.
You did that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bill list for January 14th, 2020. Public Affairs, $150,194.62. Revenue and Finance, $3,440,887.90. Public Safety, 0. Public Works, $411,121.83. Parks and Public Property, $722,176.56. Water Utility, $37,458.11. Total payroll, $884,025.48 for a grand total of $5,645,864.50.
Move the bills.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
And that's it for bills, Mayor.
Public comment on agenda items only. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concerns should approach the microphone and provide their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the Board, each person shall limit their address to 3 minutes. All remarks to the Board and its individual members must be addressed to the Mayor. The Mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the Board. Dialogue between citizens and others addressing the Board shall be allowed unless the Mayor or presiding officer or the majority of the membership of the Board shall determine that the interests of decorum and/or the expeditious conduct of municipal business are being adversely affected by such dialogue.
Anybody wish to address the Board of Commissioners on agenda items only? Seeing none, let's move on to Board of Commissioner announcement. Commissioners, any announcements?
I have just one.
Commissioner Evans?
Yes, I just would like to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of my mother-in-law, Yolanda Parada, Laloya. She's a Laloya in town. I always call her Mimi, and she's known by Mimi. She was 102 years old. She would have been 103 on February 21st. So I just ask for a moment of silence for her passing.
A moment of silence, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
Any other Commissioner announcements? Let's move to ordinance introductions. I'm going to read this by title only. This is ordinance number 3436, an ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley and the County of Essex, amending the Nutley Phase 2A redevelopment plan. I move this ordinance be passed to a second reading and advertised in the Nutley Sun, together with the notice required by law, and that further consideration of said ordinance for final passage by the Board of Commissioners to be held at its second reading on February 4th, 2020. Move the ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Let's move on to resolutions. Commissioner Rogers?
Resolution number 09-20, be it resolved that pursuant to an agreement between the Township of Nutley and the Nutley Family Service Bureau Food Pantry for the provision of services to the residents of Nutley, the Township authorizes the payment of $25,000 effective January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020, and be it resolved that two payments will be dispersed, one in January 2020, the second in June of 2020, and be it further resolved, funds will be available from account number 0-01-120-0209 for $25,000 and will be certified by the CFO, subject to the adoption of 2020 municipal budget. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Evans?
Thank you, Mayor. Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley and the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the Treasurer be and she is hereby authorized to refund overpayments of tax charges in the total amount of $10,840.06 for the lots and blocks listed in the resolution. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley and the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the Treasurer be and she is hereby authorized to refund overpayment of property taxes in the amount of $6,000 in total, total amount of $6,406.96 arising from tax court judgment settlements. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
This next resolution is for the debt service for 2020. When we don't have an adopted budget in place, but we have to make a debt service payment, there's a provision by statute that allows us to do that as part of a temporary appropriation. Whereas the New Jersey statutes 48:419 provides that where debt service is to be paid in 2020 prior to the time of the final adoption of the 2020 budget, temporary appropriation should be made for the amount of said debt service in a manner and time provided therein. Whereas the date of this resolution is subsequent to December 20th, 2019, and whereas debt service will become due during the first 6 months of 2020, now therefore be resolved, the Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, that the following temporary appropriations are made. Interest on bonds, $98,000. Principal on bonds, $1 million. Bond anticipation note, $2,036,808. Bond anticipation note interest, $50,921. New Jersey DEP Green Acres loan, principal $9,400, interest of $3,700 for a total current fund debt service of $3,198,829. Also for the water operating budget, the NJEIT loan, $26,000 plus the trust interest of $1,600 for a total debt service of $32,900. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
The similar is a provision by law for actually allows for a temporary budget authorization for the continuity of government to continue in our operating accounts and the water utility when prior to the adoption of our 2020 budget. So this next resolution provides for that. Whereas 48:419 local budget law provides that where any contracts, commitments, or payments are to be made prior to the final adoption of the 2020 budget, temporary appropriations may be made for the purposes and amounts required in the manner and time therein provided. Whereas the date of this resolution is within the first 30 days of 2020, whereas the total appropriations in 2019 budget, less appropriations made for capital improvement, debt service, and public assistance are as follows. The current fund, $49,679,235. Water utility, $4,276,750. Whereas 26.25% of the total appropriations in the 2019 budget, less the appropriations for capital improvements and debt service assistance in the said budgets is as follows. The current fund, $13,040,799.19. The water utility, $1,122,646.88. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley County of Essex, the following appropriations are to be made and certified with a copy of this of resolution with the Chief Financial Officers for her record for the accounts, all of the accounts and line items listed in this resolution. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Whereas RS 48:1517 allows for the cancellation of property tax credits or delinquent amounts less than $10, whereas the governing body may authorize the tax collector to process without further action on their part any cancellation of a property tax credit or delinquency of less than $10. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley County of Essex, State of New Jersey, hereby authorizes the tax collector to cancel said amounts as deemed necessary. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
My next and final resolution sets the interest amounts for the late payment of property taxes for the year. The amounts and the rates listed are the minimum amounts allowed by statute by the state of New Jersey. Whereas RS 54.4-67 permits the governing body of each municipality to fix the rate of interest to be charged for non-payment of taxes or assessments subject to any abatement or discount for the late payment of taxes provided by law, whereas RS 54.4-67 has been amended to permit the fixing of said rate of 8% per annum on the first $1,500 of delinquency and 18% per annum on any amounts in excess of $1,500. These amounts remain unchanged from prior years. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley County of Essex, State of New Jersey, as follows. The tax collector, 1, is hereby authorized and directed to charge 8% per annum on all taxes becoming delinquent after the due date, subject to any abatement or discount for the late payment provided by law, effective January 1, 2020. Quarterly tax payments made by cash, check, or money order shall have a 10-day grace period. Any payment not made in accordance with Section 2 of this resolution shall be charged interest from the due date as set forth in Section 1 of this resolution. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that Jonathan Bruno be appointed the Public Defender for the Township of Nutley effective January 1st, 2020, expiring December 31st, 2020. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Before I vote, I would just, being he's in my department, I would just like to say that he's been stellar and a very good find for public safety. I proudly vote aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. I concur. Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley County of Essex, New Jersey, that in accordance with provision RS 40A:40-59, the following transfers of 2019 appropriation reserves be and the same are hereby authorized and approved: from water O&E $8,000 to water salary and wage, $8,000 from recycling O&E, $8,000 from recycling salary and wage, $8,000 for a total of $16,000. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Resolution 1620 is on behalf of the Board of Commissioners to award a fair and open contract to DMR Architects, 777 Terrace Avenue, Suite 607, Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, for the preliminary redevelopment investigation study and report pursuant to NJSA 40A:12A-5 of the Ciccolini site. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. That concludes the business portion of our meeting. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mayor. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concerns should approach the microphone and provide their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the board, each person shall limit their address to 5 minutes. All remarks to the board and its individual members must be addressed to the mayor. The mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the board. Dialogue between citizens and others addressing the board shall be allowed unless the mayor or presiding officer or the majority of the membership of the board shall determine that the interest of decorum and/or the expeditious conduct of municipal business are being adversely affected by such dialogue.
Anybody wish to address the Board of Commissioners?
Carmine Alessio, 81 East Center Street. I'm coming to this public meeting to state an opinion that I have in reference to, as a citizen, to mandate that the commissionership in the town of Nutley be abolished, because I feel that the system is very, very far long outdated, and I've been in the community for, well, my family, 4th generation, since the early 1900s. So during my youth days, I had the opportunity to live in this town and see, how it has progressed. And I feel in my heart, and I know that this system is definitely not working. Now, there's other systems that are out there. The Faulkner Act is so outdated that we're lucky to have maybe 7 of this form of government in the whole country. And it is just like not appropriate, in my opinion, for this era in time in our lives. It's just not together here. So I just wanted to state my case and make it publicly known that this is how me, along with other citizens in the town, feel. And as far as the Faulkner Act goes, it was a great thing in a community, I believe, in Ohio, way back in the day when a little town was bankrupt. Citizens all got together like we used to do years ago and help neighbors and do different things with each other and had respect. This community that adopted the Faulkner Act said, hey, we're going to get our town back into order, and we're going to make it flourish and progress and make things happen. So they appointed the financial guy. He was a banker. The police commissioner, he was a police officer. The other one was maybe a nurse or someone in the health department of that nature. And maybe the parks guy had experience in being a landscaper. At that time, they came together and they got the town back on its feet. And it was a wonderful thing. But from what I see in my journey through this town, this is not what that was. And I'm going to keep my comments as far as commenting on why, because that's another issue, and my 5 minutes is probably up. But I just wanted to state for the record that that's my position on this form of government. So I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alessio. Anybody else wish to address the Board of Commissioners? Seeing none, we need a motion to go into executive session for potential litigation,
Contract negotiation.
contract negotiation.
So moved.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from meeting in certain circumstances. and whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances exist, and whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley in the County of Essex and State of New Jersey desires to proceed to close executive session, and now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, move into closed executive session to discuss contract negotiations. Be it further resolved that the time when such discussion may be disclosed to the public shall be when and as such disclosure may be made without adversely affecting the Township of Nutley, pending and/or anticipated legal, personnel, contractual matters, and other matters within the exceptions provided for by statute. Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
The time is 8:34.
We will be returning to go back in public session, but no action will be taken. Good night, everybody.